Okay, hello everybody. I'm going to show off some of the basics for rpgmaker VX Ace because I know some people have been having kind of a hard time figuring out what to do, and trust me, it took me years to figure out how to do it. And I first started trying to learn how to program using a pirated version back when it was still only available in Japanese. So it's taken me a really, really long time to figure this out. But, alright, so you'll open up the program for a new project, and it'll pretty much look like this, right? Well, you can go to the game files by clicking here and going to Open Game Folder, and it'll take you here. I guess we'll mess with this in a second, but first I will show you how to make a simple house or something. So you'll want to go to your database, go to your tile sets. I'm just going to be using the base stuff first to kind of show you how to get used to it. So let's click on exterior, and you'll see that everything has X's and O's and stuff like that, right? Okay, well, O's is what you can walk on, and X's is what you cannot, obviously. And for more advanced stuff like ladders, passages, terrain tags, and stuff like that for, let's say, the lighting effects I use for later on in the game, that's a lot more difficult. So, but you'll have all of these, which are a little confusing at first, but I'll show you how to do them. And then we have these, which are the items and objects to interact with in the room. Here you'll also have stars now. Stars are things that you can walk behind. So say like you walk here and you'll be able to go over this, but you'll be behind this thing. I'll show you how to do that in a second. So we click on exterior. No, actually, let's work on interior first. So click on interior and it'll be a bit different. And you can customize these with whatever tile sets you want to use, obviously. So let's start here. And let's click on, let's just make a new map altogether. I'm gonna start with, let's say a 20 by 20. That gives us enough room to mess around. Call this inside. Let's see, and then we'll want to set the tile set to interior. You'll start with this blank slate, pretty much. Let's see, let's just make a quick little room. So you want to click on this, which is map editing. This is how you build your maps. So this is for events. We'll get into that in a moment, but first you'll want to do this. I always click on this square thing so I can do this and drag so it doesn't, like, this is what happens when you do that with this. So let us, you could also do a circle too, so if you want to have like a circular room you could do that easier. Let's start with just a little room. You don't want to make it too big because then you'll be like, then you won't have enough room for like items and things. Essentially this is how I usually build my maps, although this would be at the bottom, but let's not worry about that right now. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. Let's see. Let's put some walls in. Depending on how big you want your talk sprites, 2 will work, but 3 is usually a little bit better, to be honest. So let's do that. Let's put some nice floor in. Let's just use, how about this one? Some wood paneling. Actually, that's really ugly. Let's use this one instead. There we go. You'll also have the shadow tool if you want to add like shadowing and stuff, but it's not usually necessary. God, the vanilla stuff is so ugly. Sorry. Let's put a bed in. Let's just build a little house. Oh, and by the way, you don't want to, okay, you can drag and do this, see? And you'll be able to place the entire thing instead of like, say, clicking both things. this is quicker. But you'll want to have it selected to the pencil, otherwise you'll just get half of it. I don't know why. Oops. Shit. Okay, that was... Okay. So let's just put a bed in, and I don't know, piano. Let's just build a crappy little room. Let's put a statue in there. Yeah, like lots of statues. Those are cool. Some clothes. Yeah. All right. Now you want to click on the event thing. Right click. Set as starting position player. This is where you'll start up in the game. So when you save your game, which my computer is very slow, so it usually takes a second for it to do it. Okay, there we go. Sorry if that's kind of loud. Let's click on new game. It'll start here. Now, as you can see, I can now walk around. And this is what the star does. I'll be able to go behind, but then the middle is an X, so I can't. And you'll just be able to walk around like that. Always, always check your boundaries. That is one of players' biggest pet peeves, is when you can, like, say you put a blood splatter on a wall and you can walk into it on the wall. That's a big mistake that a lot of game developers, like early starting out game developers, do. I actually made that mistake during my early beta testing days, so it is totally understandable. But when you're doing it, always make sure you check your boundaries in your room before moving on. Like when you make a new room, save it and test your boundaries. You don't even have to start from the beginning of your game. You can just set your starting point in the new room just to test boundaries. It's really important to do. Now, let's do a little more complicated thing with control switches. So you want to double click with the event thing selected, and you'll get this page. Let's put a graphic. So you click on graphic, and let's say we want this girl to appear suddenly and approach you. So you'll want to select the graphic you want, same as characters. Let's make it a small mini cutscene. So you'll want to click on auto run. This will make it so that you can't move around during the cutscene. Let's have her say something. So you want to go to the graphics, and I don't know. Let's make her this girl. Be like, hey, loser. And then you can have your guy talk. And be like, let's make him look like this guy. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. Let's actually add a little bit of movement to her as well by clicking on Set Move Route. Make sure it's selected to this event. Since she'll already be facing your character as we set up the event, let's have her move 4 steps forward. And then she yells at you. And then here, you'll want to make a new switch for when the cutscene is over. And okay, hang on, I'm going too fast, sorry. So you want to click on this. First page, game progression, control switches. You'll get this thing. It's very confusing looking. You want to click on this little thing here to make a new control switch. You'll have this. You can change the max control switches, which was what I had to do because I have over 800 switches in my game, I think. So let's make the max 1,000. And you can do that. So you'll have so many more control switches to work with. Let's name the first one Yelling Over. And it doesn't really matter what you name it as long as you can remember, generally what the switch is for. So, and it'll be Operation On. So this will be done after this happens. Then you'll want to click on New Event Page. Click on the switches, and it'll already select the first one on the list, but if it, if that's not the one you want, you'll want to click on here and select whatever you decided will be that. And let's make it so now she is just a passive character. And let's make it so she moves around randomly. So you want to do custom, move route, and then move at random, so she'll just wander around the room slowly doing whatever she wants. You'll want to make sure it's at same as characters, an action button trigger. This way, when you will click on her later on, which one was she? Let's make her cat girl now. There. Apply. And since we want to turn her on, let's do this. Let's make a new control switch. Yelling on. Okay. So she won't be there yet. Now, let's make a way for this to happen. I'm going to put in... Let's say you interact with this thing, right? You'll want it to be same as characters, action button. And let's see, control switches. Okay, let's make the guy say something. Okay, that way, kind of get an idea. By the way, to put a new action or event or something above something, you can't click on it. It'll put it below everything. So what you want to do is on whatever one you want it to be over, click this, and click insert, and it'll be right above that one. It's a little annoying, but that's just the way it is. Let's put in a choice. Show choice. Let's make it so show text, make it a dim background, and let's say interact with. And then you'll want to put in show choices, yes and no, and you'll get this. This is a branch. So with no, let's just say that it plays a sound effect, okay? Sure. That'll be the no. Okay, and when you clicked yes, be like, huh. It doesn't really matter what the guy looks like. And then right below that, you'll want to put in control switches. Make sure that it's the one you want to activate her, and then click on. And then something that will also happen is you'll need a new event page. If you don't want this to keep happening, if like say they keep interacting with it, you don't want this girl to keep showing up over and over and over and over again. So you'll want to turn this off by clicking a new event page, switch this one, and then you'll want to erase event, set it as a parallel process. Alright, let's test this out. Okay, start here, we wander around, look at that, it's an empty room. Okay, then we go over, wonder what this is. Interact with. Let's click no first to show you what happens. Oh shoot, sorry, that's totally my bad. This shouldn't be here, so this should actually be. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Okay, I'm dumb. I don't know why that's there. So this needs to be a difference. This needs to be the second switch because I totally forgot to make it the second switch. That's my bad. Sorry about that. This is game programming though. You fuck up a lot. Make sure that it's the action or the control switch you want, obviously, as you can see that I messed that up. Alright. Now it should work. Oh wait, no it's not. I need to make one more switch. Okay, so yelling on. Erase. Oh, no, wait. Okay. Alright. We walk to the thing. We click on it. We click no. Nothing happens. It's just a cancellation of, you know, the item. Click on it. Say yes. Huh? And then she comes over. I can't move because it's a cutscene. She yells at me. So now I can move around after that, and I can interact with her. Now she's just a passive. That's the basics of how to use a control switch to interact with something, and now I can't interact with it because I erased that event. So now she's just wandering around. That's the basics of how to use a simple control switch to set off a cutscene or something. Let's make it a little more complicated by now when she talks to you. We'll show a picture. And if... oh, shoot. Okay. I don't have any pictures. Let's open my purple game. Let's open the game folder and just throw in a picture. Oh, by the way, to put in pictures, you want to go to graphics, pictures, and then this was never used in the actual game, so I'm just gonna put that into there. So now we have this. Now we'll want to show picture, and this will show up now. Let's do that. If you want a good fade-in effect, which really makes the game look nice, you'll want to go to opacity, 0. You can name the show picture whatever number you want. This is to keep it organized, and you can't have the same number picture for 2 pictures. Like, say you want a cool overlay picture to always be shown, like how I did the dark outline around stuff. You'll want to have that labeled something like 1, and then every other picture will need to be labeled like 5 or 52 or something like that, so that way it doesn't mess with that base picture that you want shown all the time. So let's name this 5. Let's make opacity 0, so that means the picture will be invisible. And then you'll want to insert a move picture, opacity 255, and let's make time 30. Every 60 frames is 1 second. We'll want to wait for completion. Make sure it's the same number as the picture that you want shown. So this way, it'll show up. Now, let's put in a transparent blankless text right here. And then right underneath that, we'll put another move picture 2, opacity 0, time 30. So it'll fade out, wait for completion, and then we'll want to erase the picture. So now, a picture will fade in and stay on the screen until you click, you know, the space key to progress that text box, which will be invisible so you can actually see the picture, and then it'll get rid of the picture. So let's see. That's weird. I wonder why it's not working. Oh, I labeled it 5, not 2. I don't know why I kept clicking 2. See, these are the kind of things that you'll run into just programming anyway, so don't feel discouraged if you keep messing up like this, because clearly I made a whole game and I still mess up things like this. So don't ever be discouraged about that kind of thing. And beta testers are always a plus, so they can catch stuff that you might have missed. So we interact with this, she'll show up, she'll yell at us, and then the picture will fade in until we click out. See the little arrow at the bottom? That is that invisible text box. So then we'll click out and it'll fade out, and there you go. That's how you show picture. Now, let's see how to do items and stuff. Let's put an item here. Let's make it flame sparkle. So yeah, the base has some pretty good sparkles and stuff available if you just want to use the vanilla stuff. Nobody will fault you for using the sparkles, obviously. I was actually going to use the original ones, but the tile set I have came with some really good ones that worked with the style of my game, so I used those instead. Now, for this, you'll want to click direction fix on, and then you'll want to click stepping animation. So that way, turns on the animation when the event has stopped. Well, pretty much what this means is it'll be moving. So say you have a static character standing in one spot, but you want him to be walking in place. You'll click stepping animation. So now we have the sparkle. And let's have the guy click on it and say, what's this item? And let's say you want to notify your players about getting an item. I like to do this. Got item with a transparent background, usually for when I have like a splash picture for the item. Like how, when you pick up a key in my game, there'll be a picture of a key on the screen. Well, I had to draw all those myself and use the picture thing to do that. So for this, we won't have a picture, so we'll just click dim background. And you can always look at it by clicking preview, so it'll look like that. If you want a custom font though, it won't show the custom font when you click preview. You'll just have to hope it looks good. Test it a lot. So got item, and you'll want to click change items. Well, actually, you know what? You want to make an item first. So in the database, click on items, and we have this stuff. The game comes with a bunch of stuff. I just deleted all of this and put my own stuff in, but let's just say item. It's that. So that's what you get. Now we want to click change items, and it'll be selected, so you can select whatever you want. Click on item, increase 1. So we have that. And then if you don't want this item to appear, like say you leave the room and you come back, a race event will make it so that the event will be erased while you're in the room. If you leave and come back, the event will show up again. To get rid of the event for good, you'll want to make a control switch, say got item on, make a new event, switch got item, and then you'll want to put an erase in a parallel process. So this is how you get an item. And you can also add sound effects if you want and stuff for when you get the item. So now there'll be the sparkle in the room. It's hard to see with the stupid background or the floor that I used, I guess. But now you can click on it. What's this item? Got item. And it'll go away. Now you can click escape, items. There it is. It'll be in your inventory. However, whichever inventory you're deciding to use. I used a script for my custom inventory to make it look more like a horror RPG game. So you can go around and just search like rpgmaker VXA menu script or anything like that, and there are so many resources for you to find. It's really fun and pretty easy to use too. So, and it usually tells you what to do. Like, say you want to put in a new script. Usually what you do is you'll click this script button here. You'll get this. This is the part that looks scary, because look at this. What is all this? It's not that hard. You scroll all the way down, and usually you'll see main process, main, and I guess I already have talk sprites going on here. I use Galv's message busts. You can find it by just searching rpgmaker Galv message bus script. And what you'll want to do is right below main, you'll make a new thing like this. You'll name it whatever you want, and you can type whatever you want. You'll want to copy paste it, name it talk sprites if you want to remember what the script is without clicking on it. And then you'll just want to paste in that script, and it'll just automatically do it for you pretty much. You can also mess with it by making like the fade-ins, or if you want it to slide in, stuff like that. There's a lot to find out doing that. But for right now, let's make a new map. Oops. A new map. Name it hallway, I guess. Let's make it another interior. Set the width and height to whatever you want. And now we have this. So, you'll want to build another map. Just something simple. It's not hard to deal with, you know. Let's put a new floor in. Don't know why there's no doors. Where's the doors? Okay, well, since there's no door in this stuff for some reason, or maybe I'm just blind and I can't see it, whatever, let's just make it a dark opening. So boop, boop, there you go. Oops. Okay, there we go. Now we have this. Now we want to go from this room to this room, and what we'll do for that is we'll double click the doorway, make it same as characters. Make sure you check this all the time, because I messed this up several times even after the release of my game. I had to go back and I had to fix it, and it's very annoying. So always make sure that, say, doorway that's against a door is same as characters. If you make it below, you'll walk right into it, or you won't even be able to if the boundaries are set to X. So don't do that. Now, I'm going to click this, transfer player. Where do we want to go? We want to go inside. So I want to start here. And I want to be facing up. With the normal fade, there's also white and there's no fade, so it'll just be like blink in there. And then fade will be black fade, and then white fade is, well, obviously it fades to white. So we'll do that. And we'll copy this event and paste it here so they'll both lead to the same area. Now inside, we want to go from here to the other area. Do pretty much the exact same thing. But since this is below on the floor here, this will be below characters. So when you step on it and click action, it'll happen. There we go. Let's test it out. Now we're out here. That's how you make a simple doorway transfer. It's pretty easy. So there's that. Now, let's say we want an event to happen in here, but we want to activate it out here. Well, let's put in graphic. Let's put in switch like this. As you can see, let's put in a simple switch. We'll name it switch 1. So that's there. Let's put direction fix on. And let's do a control switch here. Pulled switch. Okay. Sorry, I had to get readjusted. Okay. Pulled switch. And we'll make a new event so the switch will be pulled. So it'll be in this position now, see? So that way you'll know which position it's which. Okay, and if we want the pulled switch to be there, and we'll also put in a control switch for switch off. So that way if you interact with it again, it'll be that. Let's copy this page, paste the event page, make it so pulled switch off. So now it'll be off. So now you can turn it off and on. That's pretty easy. But when we pull the switch on, this will happen, obviously. So now we have pulled switch. Now, inside, let's say a doorway opens. Go to the tile sets, and let's do this one. That way it'll look kind of cool. This only shows up when the switch is in the pulled position. Let's make it same as characters. So now we have this. I'll show you how it works now. And if you can get the basics down, making puzzles and stuff doing this is pretty easy. So the room is pretty empty. Let's go down and pull that switch. And now you have this. If we want to turn it back off, shoot, I forgot to get rid of it. Okay. I forgot. I need to make a... Oh, wait, no, I know what to do. Sorry. I'm a bad game developer, I know. So if switch is off, we'll also want to turn off. Okay, pulled switch in the off position now. So that way it'll be off, obviously. And you can turn it off and on and stuff like that. Let's also, oops. A good thing to do to like tell people that something has changed is to click play sound effect. Sure. That way you kind of know what's going on in the other room. and now it's gone. So that's basically how you make an off and on switch like that. You can do the same with like lamps and stuff like that. It's pretty easy just once you get the hang of it. I'd say just like experiment a lot with it. Let me show you how to get better walk sprites really quick. So let's go to my graphics. Okay, here we go. Let's just use a Randall. Oops. Okay, you want to go to your graphics, characters, paste. Now, this is very specific. If you do not name your thing with a $sign here, it messes it up. Trust me. So you'll want to do the $sign. I'll show you what happens when you don't have that. So God dang. Okay, so we have these two. Go into your database, go into your actors. Let's just turn this guy into Randall. So, if you click this with no $sign, you see how it's kind of messed up and cutting it off all weird? That's bad. Also, it'll only show a partial bit of it. See? Like that. That's bad. Put a $sign, makes the whole thing select. And then you'll have your little guy. That's how you use larger sized block sprites. That $sign is so important. See? Now it's a larger sprite instead of the little teeny tiny one. This makes things look a lot better, and I usually post the size base that I use, which is just like a grid that shows you the size requirements to make it. So now we have all that, and that's pretty much the beginning basics of how to build a map. You'll want it to be whatever shape you want, really. Like different shapes and stuff make it look better. This is just a basic square room, obviously. You don't want it to be too big like this because, see, like it's kind of, there's a lot of empty space and you don't want that. So essentially I kind of kept it kind of small, kind of cramped feeling. That way the items seem more like a real room would be. One of the biggest mistakes I notice in making it like beginning RPG makers is they make these giant huge rooms with like one or two items, and it's always really awkward. Like you don't need that much space. You just need a small room with room for the items and to be able to walk around. See how this is just one walkway. That's all you need to move around. That's the basics of how to use control switches, like basic control switches, how to make an NPC, how to go into a different room, and to make like a puzzle and stuff, and to show pictures. That's pretty much all you need to start out. If you want to start getting into the more advanced stuff, it's a little more complicated, using scripts, lighting stuff, all this stuff. Like, here, I'll show you guys my scripts that I have in my game. I have Galv's message busts, which makes the, it won't be the little box in the talk thing, it'll be like the full-size talk sprite pictures. To use that, though, is a little bit complicated because you can't just throw it in characters or whatever and have it work. To get it to work is in rpgmaker. Oops. Okay, you want to go to resources. You have these things in your graphics faces. You can customize your graphic faces if you want to. I just kept copying and pasting this one with different names and just trying to memorize what I named all the things. But you can make them custom. Just take, export the picture so you can save it on your desktop or something, and you can edit it to put in the actual talk sprite faces. Make sure that you keep the dimensions though. But that's a good way to sorry, got hiccups. To memorize that kind of thing. Anyway, you'll also get all of these basic ones. But to use them with Galv's message sprites, you'll want to go to your graphics, your pictures, and you see how I named it actor11? It's because I have actor1, and you'll do -1 so that you'll know that it is this one. That'll pop up as Randall now because I have it set to that, because the script. It's very important. It's a little confusing. It took me a while to figure out, which was annoying, but it's worth it. I also have a party manager script, which makes it so, you know, the part where Randall falls off the roof and then you play as Maya later. Well, I didn't want all of Randall's inventory to go to Maya's stuff. So I have a party script manager, which is kind of difficult and confusing to figure out. So you'll make parties, like party 1, party 2, which will be Randall and Maya. Party 1 is Randall, so you'll want to have it set to that. And then when you want to switch it to Maya, you'll have to, let me see if I can find it. It should be day 3. Maya after hospital. Okay. There's the roof. Oh well. So my bedroom. One of these is the right thing. Okay, so script ID2. Members, you'll want to write it in custom script. It gets complicated. It pretty much tells you in the script what you'll want to copy paste though. So it's pretty easy. So you'll do that, and that'll mean that Maya is her own new party now. That way she starts with a completely clear inventory, and when you switch back and forth between parties, they'll always have what they had in their inventory. It's really helpful if you have a game where you're switching your main character around like mine does. I have this screen thing, which makes it so vanilla rpgmaker only has that really tiny screen to play in. I didn't like that because I can't see very well, so I got this script so that now I can click F5 and make the screen much bigger. You don't need to do this, but I recommend it. I also have Cass's awesome lighting effects, which is what I use for the moth dreams and the end of the game where Maya's running around with a flashlight. There's no other way to really make a flashlight like that. I can't help too much with this because I'm still kind of figuring it out, and I just kind of managed to get it to work, so I don't mess with it anymore. But if you want to look up Cass's awesome lighting effects, I can also send you the link if you're interested in using lighting effects like that. You can actually download a demo from the website, and it'll show you how to use them, and it'll show you the events and switches and all this other stuff. It's very, very helpful. That's how I did it. I pretty much copy and pasted from their demo into my game to figure it out, and I also edited the flashlight it came with to be more bright because the one it came with wasn't bright enough. But those are the scripts I use. I don't use very many scripts in my game. It's mostly the vanilla programming, to be honest, so it's not too difficult. Let's see. I can also show you how I kind of did the morgue chase. So Moths is already there. See, he's just waiting there, a little bastard. So when you click on the cafeteria key, you'll have all of this. This is the cutscene that happens. Pick up the key, and Moth's sound starts going on. You can see his picture and his cutscene. Then I erase the event so that the key is gone. But at the very end, I click on these things. This will trigger Moths to move around and come at you. So this will happen. This is an auto run. Randall steps back, Moth steps forward, then these get clicked on, and then Moth chases. I have the custom move route set to move towards player. I have him moving pretty fast, any faster than this, and Randall running, he won't be able to outrun Moths. So, and I have it as event touch. Do not put it as player touch if you want the event to kill you. You'll want it as event touch, so when the event touches your player, it'll kill you. I have it set to bite, flash screen, shake screen, game over. Simple. So, he'll pretty much chase Randall. And yeah, he can get stuck behind this kind of stuff if you, like, maneuver fast enough. That's annoying. Also, I can't figure out how to make it so if you run far enough, he stops chasing you. That's also annoying. Apparently, that was a big problem at Aoni. So, there's nothing I can really do about that at the time. But, pretty much, those are the basics of getting started, setting it up, all that other stuff. I hope that helped you in making your own game and getting started. If you need any more help or with anything specific, or if I didn't explain something well enough, please tell me and I will help you out the best that I can. I really support everybody who is aspiring to be a game developer. I really think that we need more games like this, especially because rpgmaker games, there just aren't enough of them, especially horror if you're going for horror. But I really support you and I will help out any way that I possibly can. So I hope that this helped, and thank you for watching.